Your car is being sabotaged, and the manufacturer put it in writing. After 23 years turning wrenches, I've seen enough. And in 2026, the gap between what your car can actually do and what the manufacturer wants you to believe has only grown wider. Cars are becoming more software controlled, more sealed, and more dependent on dealer-approved routines that quietly cost you more money over time. But most of the limitations hurting performance, fuel economy, and reliability aren't mechanical issues. They're habits, settings, and overlooked maintenance shortcuts that the average driver never learns. What makes this year different is how small mistakes now lead to bigger consequences because modern engines, sensors, and fluids operate on tighter margins than ever before. So in this video, I'm revealing the 11 tricks manufacturers would rather you never figure out. Simple, safe, and proven methods that make your car run smoother, last longer, and cost less to maintain. Keep watching because missing even one could cost you hundreds in 2026. 11. Hidden tire pressure trick. Most drivers rely blindly on the tire pressure printed on their door sticker, assuming it represents the perfect number for daily driving. But that number is chosen mainly for comfort and showroom smoothness rather than real-world performance or efficiency. Manufacturers base it on a fully loaded vehicle with 5 passengers and a trunk full of weight, which is not how most people drive from day to day. Under normal conditions, when there are only 1 or 2 people in the car, that recommended pressure often leaves your tires too soft. Soft tires flex more, drag more, reduce steering accuracy, and quietly lower your fuel economy without any warning light. By increasing your pressure just 3 to 5 psi above the sticker number, you tighten handling, reduce rolling resistance, and often gain 2 to 3 miles per gallon immediately. This adjustment stays safely within the limits printed on your tire's sidewall, and tire companies themselves acknowledge these benefits, even if automakers avoid highlighting them. Over the years, I've seen countless drivers feel an instant improvement simply from this tiny change. Small pressure adjustments can transform how your car responds on every drive. 10. Clean your throttle body for instant power. A dirty throttle body is one of the most common reasons a car develops rough idle, hesitation, or weak acceleration. Yet manufacturers rarely highlight it because they prefer to label the part maintenance-free. Over time, carbon, dust, and oil vapor from the PCV system gradually coat the throttle plate and surrounding bore, especially in engines driven mostly in city traffic. That buildup restricts airflow, disrupts idle control, and confuses the sensor readings that tell your engine how much air it should expect. Dealerships charge high service fees for something that usually takes 10 to 15 minutes, but cleaning it yourself is simple, safe, and extremely effective. With the engine off, remove the intake tube, spray throttle body cleaner directly onto the valve, gently scrub with a soft brush, and wipe everything clean before reinstalling. Once done, most drivers immediately notice smoother idle, quicker throttle response, and improved fuel economy because the engine no longer struggles to guess airflow. I have personally seen this single step solve issues that customers thought required expensive repairs. When your engine breathes freely again, the difference shows every time you drive. 9. Clean your MAF sensor for real power. Your mass airflow sensor plays a crucial role in deciding how much fuel your engine injects, but over time, dust, pollen, and microscopic particles collect on its delicate sensing wire and cause inaccurate readings. Instead of investigating the real issue, dealerships often recommend replacing the sensor entirely, which can cost more than $200 per unit. In most cases, the sensor is not damaged at all. It is simply dirty. Cleaning it safely with a proper MAF-specific cleaner restores accuracy almost instantly. By unplugging the sensor, spraying the element gently without touching it, letting it dry completely, and reinstalling it, you fix fuel mixture errors and regain lost efficiency. Many drivers report immediate improvements in acceleration, smoother idle, and increased miles per gallon after a simple cleaning. Doing this every oil change prevents future buildup and extends sensor life dramatically. It also corrects rich running conditions that quietly waste fuel without ever triggering a warning light. Your engine performs best when it knows exactly how much air is flowing in. 8. Reset your ECU to match your driving style. When you buy a used car, you inherit more than the previous owner's maintenance history. You also inherit the driving patterns stored inside the ECU. Modern cars adapt to behavior over thousands of miles, adjusting throttle sensitivity, shift timing, and fuel delivery based on how someone else used to drive. If the last driver was extremely gentle, your car might feel slow and unresponsive. If they were aggressive, it may feel twitchy or waste fuel. A simple ECU reset lets your vehicle relearn everything from scratch. Disconnect the negative battery terminal for 15 minutes, turn the key to the on position for 10 seconds, reconnect the battery, and let the engine idle untouched for about 10 minutes. Over your next few drives, the ECU begins creating a new profile based on your habits instead of someone else's. Many drivers notice smoother shifts, sharper throttle response, and a more natural driving feel almost immediately. Your car should learn from you, not the driver before you. 7. Burn carbon the safe and simple way. Short trips, cold starts, and constant low RPM driving prevent your engine from reaching full operating temperature, which allows carbon to accumulate on pistons, valves, and combustion chambers. This buildup quietly robs your car of power, smoothness, and fuel economy, especially in engines that run hotter and leaner than older models. A classic mechanic method, known as the Italian tune-up, can remove these deposits naturally. Once every week or two, take your car onto the highway and hold a steady 3,000 to 4,000 RPM for 10 to 15 minutes. You're not speeding or stressing the engine, you are simply generating enough sustained heat to burn off soft carbon that daily driving never reaches. Many drivers notice smoother acceleration, better throttle response, and restored pep after just 1 or 2 sessions. It costs nothing, requires zero tools, and reduces the need for expensive carbon cleaning services later. Sometimes, your engine just needs a long, warm workout to feel alive again. 6. Check your spark plug gaps for smoother idle. Spark plugs are essential for clean combustion, yet many arrive from the factory with gaps that are slightly off due to shipping vibration, handling, or normal production tolerances. When the gap is too wide, the spark becomes weaker under load and causes hesitation, misfires, and poor fuel economy. When the gap is too tight, the spark cannot fully ignite the mixture, reducing power and efficiency. Using a simple $4 gap tool, you can measure each plug and adjust it to the ideal specification marked by your manufacturer. Setting the gap slightly tighter within the safe recommended range often produces a stronger spark, smoother idle, and noticeably quicker throttle response. Many enthusiast drivers report immediate improvements after correcting gaps during plug replacement. It's a small adjustment that pays off every time you drive. Tiny tweaks in ignition can transform how your engine behaves on the road. Quick pause. If these tips are already helping you the way they've helped thousands of drivers I've worked with, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next ones. I share simple, real-world car knowledge that saves people money every week, and I'd love to help you stay ahead of the issues most drivers learn about too late. Now, let's keep going. 5. The real oil change schedule you should follow. Manufacturers promote long oil change intervals, sometimes 10,000 to 15,000 miles, to make ownership appear cheaper. But real-world driving conditions break oil down much faster than those idealized claims suggest. Daily stop-and-go traffic, short trips that never let the engine reach full temperature, wide seasonal swings, and the extra heat created by modern turbocharged engines all accelerate oil breakdown. Independent lab tests repeatedly show that in typical driving, oil begins losing viscosity, detergents, and protective additives by around 6,000 miles, even when using high-quality synthetics. Changing your oil every 5,000 to 7,000 miles dramatically reduces internal wear, prevents sludge, and stabilizes engine temperatures. Engines maintained with shorter intervals routinely last years longer, retaining quieter operation, stronger compression, and cleaner internals. Meanwhile, drivers who follow the long intervals printed in manuals often face premature timing chain wear, oil consumption issues, and early bearing failure because the oil can no longer protect critical surfaces. The small cost of an extra oil change or two each year is nothing compared to the price of engine repair or replacement. Fresh oil delivered on time is the single strongest defense your engine has against long-term damage. 4. Upgrade your air filter for easy power. Most factory air filters are designed with one primary goal: reduce engine noise during test drives so the car feels smoother and quieter to new buyers. To achieve this, manufacturers use dense paper media that muffles induction sound, but that same density also restricts how much air your engine can actually breathe, especially at higher RPMs, where airflow matters most. By switching to a high-flow drop-in filter made from oiled cotton or modern synthetic fibers, you immediately increase airflow by 30 to 50% while still filtering safely. More airflow allows your engine to breathe easier, which results in sharper throttle response, smoother acceleration, and in many cases, a small boost in fuel economy. Installation typically takes just a few minutes, requires no special tools, and costs around $50 to $70, far cheaper than any other performance upgrade offering the same noticeable improvement. These filters last tens of thousands of miles and only need periodic cleaning instead of full replacement. Your engine runs more efficiently, feels more responsive, and maintains power more consistently on steep climbs, highway merges, and everyday driving. Your car can't deliver its best performance if it's struggling to inhale through a clogged or restrictive filter. 3. Clean your injectors before replacing them. Fuel injectors often become partially clogged as varnish, carbon, and fuel deposits slowly build inside the tiny spray nozzles. When the spray pattern weakens or becomes uneven, engines begin to idle roughly, accelerate sluggishly, and lose fuel economy. Dealerships frequently misdiagnose this as injector failure and recommend expensive replacements, but in most cases, the injectors are not broken at all. They're simply dirty. Cleaning them correctly restores performance in a majority of situations. Using a high-quality fuel system cleaner and allowing it to circulate through the injectors dissolves internal buildup gradually and safely. Most drivers notice smoother idle, faster throttle response, and better MPG within a tank or two. Professional injector cleaning services can cost hundreds of dollars, yet concentrated DIY cleaners often deliver very similar results at a fraction of the price. Regular cleaning not only restores performance, but prevents future clogging, extending injector life significantly. Don't replace what you can easily restore for only a few dollars. 2. Protect your transmission with smarter fluid changes. The idea of lifetime transmission fluid is one of the most misleading claims in modern vehicle maintenance, because no fluid truly lasts forever. Over time, transmission fluid breaks down from heat, pressure, and oxidation, while tiny metal particles from normal wear begin circulating inside the system. This contamination gradually reduces lubrication and increases friction, making shifting less smooth and causing long-term internal wear. Modern transmissions, especially CVTs and dual clutch units, depend heavily on clean, healthy fluid to function properly. Changing the fluid every 30 to 40,000 miles using a gentle drain and fill method instead of an aggressive flush keeps the system clean, cool, and protected. Drivers who follow this maintenance schedule often see their transmissions last well beyond 180,000 miles, whereas those who believe the lifetime myth commonly face early failures between 90 and 110,000 miles. The cost of preventative fluid changes is very small compared to the enormous expense of rebuilding or replacing a failed transmission. Clean fluid now is far cheaper than a broken transmission later. 1. Do a monthly check that protects engine life. One of the most powerful habits for long engine life costs nothing. It takes only a few minutes. A simple monthly underhood inspection. Modern engines are tightly engineered and often hide early warning signs that would have been obvious in older vehicles, which is why catching small issues early matters more than ever in 2026. This quick routine involves checking oil level, coolant condition, belt tension, hose flexibility and looking for any leaks, drips, or unusual smells around the engine bay. Minor issues like low coolant, slow oil loss, or a loose clamp can escalate into major failures such as overheating, blown head gaskets, oil starvation, or unexpected breakdowns if left unnoticed. By checking monthly, you identify problems long before warning lights appear, saving hundreds or even thousands in potential repairs. Mechanics routinely confirm that engines maintained this way last dramatically longer and stay cleaner internally. This ritual builds confidence, improves safety, and keeps your car running smoothly year after year. Consistent small habits protect your engine better than any single repair ever could. Now that you've learned the real tricks that protect your engine, save you money, and avoid the dealership guesswork, you're already ahead of most drivers on the road. If you want your car to run smoother, last longer, and feel stronger year after year, these habits will make all the difference. Click any of these videos on your screen, and I'll see you in a moment.